Hey y'all, I'm Priscilla.
What's up, guys? I'm Brittany.
And I'm Jahari, and welcome to our podcast, The Ninth Semester with PB&J.
Welcome to the season finale, episode 8, Graduation Day. Today, we take a moment to reflect on our amazing journey of postgraduate life. Today, May 13th, is actually the 1 year anniversary of the PB&J Cruise college graduation.
I absolutely cannot believe that this episode is coming out a year to the day when we walked across that stage.
Wait a minute. This transition is so awkward. Because we're talking about our graduation.
Why do you always do this? When we have a script, you're like, it's fine. And then you're like, wait, this is so awkward. Every time.
Wait a minute. Are we forgetting someone?
Jahari, there's always been three of us.
Well, that would be our very special guest. Listeners, lend me your ears. And let's welcome Nakayla.
Hi, everybody.
Nakayla, why don't you tell the people who you are, how you know us, and yeah, just introduce yourself.
Okay. Hey, everybody. I'm Nakayla. I am a recent graduate of college, and I know all of these lovely people from integrating myself into their friendship. Yep.
Girl, please.
Not
Indeed.
introductions.
Wait, well, actually, they might believe that because the picture that's gonna go up when this episode airs.
That's fair.
That is very
Ah,
true.
Okay, but tell us. Okay, so beyond that, tell us where you're from or where you grew up, and then what your major is, and also tell us what. Sorry, what made what made you choose your majors? Okay.
Okay. I am from Memphis, Tennessee. I attend college in Memphis as well. I double major in psychology and Africana studies. Originally when I wanted to come to college, I actually looked at all of the list of majors that they had at the institution, and the only one that I liked was psychology, so that's how I chose that one. Then I convinced myself that I wanted to be a counselor, so I wanted to have a psychology background. And for the Africana Studies major, Jahari actually convinced me to pick up that major because I was already taking several courses that related to African American content, music, and history. So I had enough course credit to major for Africana Studies, and here we are.
she's a baddie, basically, is what I just heard.
Honey, well, let's talk
Man.
about getting you to go to Africana study. Let's start there because the amount of coaxing I had to
Oh,
do
wait, I'm outnumbered again.
for
There's
any.
still all humanities majors in here.
I believe
Like,
Michaela's in the same cohort, hon.
oh, wait, psychology too. Oh, period. Okay, cool. We're good.
Mhm.
Anyway, back to basics. So, yes, you did take a lot of courses, but what? Well, I guess let me rephrase another question, a follow up question. What have you? And maybe I'm jumping ahead, but what have you? Now that you're, or by the time this episode airs, you will have graduated. What would you say since declaring your major? What has been your favorite part about the program?
My favorite part about the Africana Studies program is the faculty and staff in the program. We have a very tight knit community, and it's really just fun to be with them and to just be in their office and to coexist with them, and also to just connect with them in class and then end up convincing other people to major or minor, just like Jahari did. So
Right.
I think it's a fun little community.
Sure. Exactly.
I have a question for you, Michaela, because this is, I think it would be great to give our context to our listeners that since Michaela is a newly fresh off the block graduate, that we started this podcast off as freshly, made recent graduates, and we always talk about passing on our knowledge. And so it's not too often that we get to hear a new perspective from the angle of a fresh graduate. Just to start us off, I would love to hear, how are you feeling about being a recent graduate? What are some feelings that you're having? What are things you're excited for? Let me just keep it that short.
Um, I would say right now I'm just like in a feeling or a moment of like excitement, but also uncertainty because
Mm.
it's really exciting. It's a very fun time, but I'm kind of scared about the next steps really because it's like I could go a lot of different ways and realizing that that is all in my hands and it's like nobody else is making a decision for me. It's kind of scary, but it's also like I can just do whatever I want to do. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, I'm sorry. I don't want to steal your shine, Priscilla. If you had a
No,
follow,
that was me, but
oh, sorry.
no, I kind of just wanted to like pivot into like kind of coming off that point. Like, do you have post grad plans kind of shaped up, or are you scared of like any like decisions that you have to make soon?
so the plan is, and I feel like the more I say it out loud, the more I will do it. The plan is for me to pursue my master's of social work in the fall.
Mm,
Nice.
The sense of uncertainty comes from the fact that I could go to several different institutions that are all in different cities, or I could just stay at home in Memphis where I'm comfortable in, like in a little safe space. So right now I'm just grappling with the thought of do I want to just stay comfortable or would I just like to like step out on a limb and just try
Yeah, I know
something
that's
new?
kind of something we were talking about before hitting the actual record button with Priscilla here. I don't know if you want to chime in with your advice there, Priscilla, again, uh, to give people who are struggling with that.
Yeah, no, me and Brittany were talking about, for people who've kind of been in the same place their whole life. Some people, like for me, I made that transition from moving my hometown. Obviously, for a lot of people, that transition happens when they go to college. But for some folks who go to college in their hometown and they're looking for opportunities outside their hometown, I'm always an advocate for going out into the world and trying something new. Seeing some new sights, meeting some new people. I don't have nothing against people who stay in their hometown because it's like, do what's best for you. But I'm always a huge advocate that, go out and try new things, new opportunities. Because a lot of times I feel like, unless you live in a super high metropolitan area, a lot of times there's just better opportunities in other places and just chances for you to get exposed to new and more amazing things. So, your choice is yours. But I'm always an advocate to go out and try to find something new.
Yeah, I definitely like second that because, I mean, at least for me, I kind of moved to a similar city. I'm from Atlanta again, for some listeners that might not know. Um, and I went up to Memphis for
is that a
school.
similar
So
city?
definitely similar vibes in terms of, I was gonna say in terms of just like being like major
Oh,
cities
I
in
was
like their
gonna
states,
say,
but
okay.
it was definitely like a more cult. Like for me, I feel like I was in a more like being in a smaller city that was really rich in culture in my opinion. Like you could see it a lot more like throughout literally just going like 5 minutes away from, where we went to college and uh
Mm-hmm.
honestly like just a closer knit community to me because I'm like in Atlanta I had to commute, 45 minutes to go somewhere and in Memphis I was literally like 5 minutes from places that I could hang out with people. So, just experiencing different facets of life, different ways of interacting with people, different opportunities. Yeah, that's always my advice towards going away from home.
Well, we don't even know if she wants to go away from home because you all didn't ask. Anyway, Nakayla, where are you considering going if that's what you want to go with the grad school route? Where are you considering moving to, you know, to pursue that?
St. Louis, and it's really not even that far, but it's just not
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I think, Nikayla, you also, I think you bring a unique perspective that I just thought of that we haven't really been able to talk to or relate to as a group, I feel. But I just thought of it, Nakayla. We don't really talk about the context of graduating college and going to graduate school because I would say for all of our future jobs or careers that we were doing after post grad, that wasn't really required. And I correct me
Mm-hmm.
if I'm wrong, kind of like counseling, the expectation for counseling is you got to go get at least a master's, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. So I guess for me, a question I have for you is, what perspective do you think things would be different for you in the sense of preparing for post grad if you didn't hop instantly to go to a, master's program or doctorate program and you just hopped into the workforce or vice versa? I'm curious, what you feel like if things would be different if you weren't going to grad school, for example.
Yeah, I think that would be different. I feel like I would probably be more comfortable though. I'm really familiar with different organizations and nonprofits throughout the city. So I feel like if I wanted to go directly into the workforce, I have the people and network necessary to be able to do so. So I definitely would be more comfortable, but I would probably have stayed in Memphis. Um, like ever since I told people I would be major in psychology, everybody was like, "Oh, well, you're gonna have to go back to school." And I'm a first gen college student. Like, I really don't know what I'm doing for real. So
Yeah.
for everybody to tell me that, then I started to look into it. I was like, "Oh, they actually knew what they were talking about." So it was like December. I remember it vividly. It was December 17th, and I was sitting on my couch, and I was like, "I should probably go to grad school." So I just started applying, and well, here we are. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
We love a multi-talented
Yeah, I'm like
young woman.
accomplished individual. Like, period.
Kayla, okay, so what would you say? I believe the one of our early episodes we mentioned what we wish we knew coming out of college into our post grad life. What would you say you're thinking about, right? Like when you consider how you want to live the next chapter of your life, like what matters to you, what are you taking away from what you learned about yourself in college, like that kind of stuff. What do you want to take with you that from the college experience into the post grad experience?
I think one thing that I've been doing more is just like reminding myself to cherish every moment because like everybody tells you, oh, college goes by so fast, but especially your senior year. But no, like that's really true.
Mm.
And I think that being in an institution in general and not being in the workforce is what I'm trying to emphasize. It's like it's very different. So even going into post grad, I want to ensure that I continue to cherish everything or like just step out of my comfort zone as well because I just started doing that and it's like I'm a senior now. So I wish I would have did that earlier, just making myself uncomfortable, not in negative ways, but just doing things that I usually wouldn't see myself doing. So.
Yeah. And okay, so I'm curious. This is a personal curiosity, right? Like you are a double major, and I think only Priscilla
Mhm.
is a double major here, like of the other three of us.
Yeah.
And where do you see yourself going? Like well, I guess like let me rephrase. As someone who double majored and has two separate but also right like intersecting areas of study of interest, how do you see that shaping up your decision about what you want to do next, even if it's not the immediate next, but like after you come out of grad school, right? Or 5 years down the line, what you think about your career trajectory of the life that you want to build and how your two degrees, right, influence that.
One thing that I have always done or aspired to do is just impact Black youth, specifically in Memphis, but that can be anywhere. And I feel like my Africana Studies major equips me to do any and everything regarding the youth, even just Black people in general. But that's my main focus. That's from what I do, from like any job I've worked or anything I've ever volunteered in. That's what the focus has and always will be. And then I feel like with the psychology major, that allows me to focus more on like the counseling route or mental health or social work specifically. But I feel like both of those foundations give me enough knowledge to be able to sprout out and do whatever I want to do because I have those degrees.
Definitely for sure. I actually like you were kind of speaking about creating like spaces for, you know, people of color, in those like spaces that, you prepared for with your majors. And that made me question like with our institution, I know we had to create our own spaces for, people with our skin tone. But do you think that added to your preparedness for doing what you want to do with your majors, or do you think it kind of our hindered that process coming out of college?
Um, I wouldn't say. I don't know. I feel like now as a senior, I would say it kind of enhanced it, but I would say like my first and second year being at the institution kind of hindered it because I was
Hmm.
like, okay, first, I already told you I'm a first generation college student. So I was
Right.
already trying to navigate being in college in and of itself. And then I was also navigating being in a space with people who don't look like me and like having different types of me having different type of assumptions or beliefs that people may have about me because I don't look like them. It
Hmm.
was never like I had instances of people telling me certain things or looking at me certain ways, but this was just me internalizing different things that I feel like, oh, they might think this about me, they might think that about me. But I feel like in my junior and senior year, I kind of shied away from that and was able to pour into those organizations that were made for us. And then I was able to get away from that. So I feel like I'll be able to take the latter portion into like my later adult life, but I do sometimes regret those feelings that I had in my first 2 years because that definitely did hold me back.
Yeah, I think just adding from I think it might have been last episode or the episode before, but we were talking about how our experience would have been different if we went to, an HBCU versus, the institution we went to. Do you think that would have affected maybe your path as well? Or
Yes, I feel like I would have been fine academically. I feel like socially is
right.
where my main difference would have been. Um, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
What was it about the spaces that did exist that put you off?
I didn't put it on the spaces, is
Okay.
what I'm trying to say. I'm saying like that was me. Like it was more of me in my head thinking like, oh, I literally just used to stay in my room because I just like, I don't really know nobody. Ain't nobody gonna want to talk to me. Like
Hmm.
I just used to do that. So I wouldn't put it on the spaces or the organizations, but I would simply put it on my mindset of just not understanding or believing that I
Right.
belong in the room or I belong here.
Hmm.
So
But our favorite professor, her favorite phrase, you do belong in the room.
I know that's why I love that she says that at the end of
Yeah.
every email.
Hmm. So she is a STEMmy, guys. We do have that side.
Y'all really acting like we can't put
Right.
context clues
Like
together to figure out who said that. But okay.
if I,
Oh,
I
okay. I'm just gonna
if I still
share
had
with her.
access to my email, I would
She
bring up my my emails of the STEM course.
actually, yeah. I don't know how you guys got added on that chain
Well,
all the time. You two
we,
That
were on that
sounds
chain
kind of
know.
too.
defensive. And you threatened by
Right.
her presence.
I'm not threatened. I'm just saying, like, it was just like for the STEM cohort,
Right.
and then like you
We're
guys were on
STEMmies
the
for
But I
email
wait
life.
list
till I start
too.
calling.
STEMmies for life. Me and Jari could have got a BS. Me and Jari could have got a BS in history and a BS in Africana studies if
Well,
we
I
really
already did.
talking.
Oh wait. I just
I was like,
Okay.
I was
All
waiting
right.
for that to
All
click for
right.
I was
I'm
him.
like,
leaving
yes,
that one
we did.
in. I'm leaving that one
I was
in.
so confused. I was like,
I was waiting for that one
didn't
to
we do
click.
that? Erase that. That was so embarrassing. That was so embarrassing. LOL.
Nakayla, a fun thing I always like to ask because it's something that just reminded me of where we were, kind of on this day. But like, what are some, we often talk about the individual, But is there anything you want to say, or you have any feelings to say about the collectiveness of having like a graduating class? How are you think you're gonna, or do you think you're gonna adjust well to the post grad student life now? Like, do you think it's gonna be you're gonna be spending a lot of time reminiscing, or do you think you're gonna have one of those easy transitions where, hey, that was something in the past, I'm ready for the new future ahead?
I think I spend a lot of time reminiscing. I've been doing it like every day. Like every time I walk around campus, I'd be like, when will I walk around campus at 3 a.m. again? Like I'm so
A
silly.
woman of culture, you know what's up?
Like when all of you all left and there was only the seniors left, and it was just a bunch of
Yes,
events with
yes.
Mhm.
us
Senior
like
week.
together, and
Mm,
then like you realize, oh wow, I'm never
yeah.
coming back here. Like at least not in the form that I am here now. So that's
Mhm.
why I was like, already you haven't even gotten through. Well, did you get through exams? I don't remember the schedule. So let me stay out your business.
No, that's this
Oh,
week.
oh, poor you.
So
The
next
last
week
day
is
of
senior
classes is
week for you
Friday.
guys.
Yeah.
Dang, we can't even talk about the collective feelings that come off of doing your final
Because they
final.
they ate us up. Ate us up
Because
so
I'm
bad.
telling you, I couldn't put that feeling in a bottle the way I hit that submit button and slept in that weekend before senior week because I was just done with it all. Oh, that was a great feeling. If they were able to put that in a drug, I would be an addict because that was the best feeling ever.
I mean, I guess we can ask, like, you know, are you looking forward to hitting that last submission
Oh,
button,
girl.
or is it
I
a
know
different type
she's
of feeling for
happy. Are
you?
you kidding me? Who wouldn't be happy about hitting that?
Hey, hey, let her
No,
speak, Maybe she's like, "Hey, I
Oh,
want to stay
nerd.
here." I'm kidding.
no, I'm
I'm
not
kidding,
at
I'm kidding.
all. Which is why I will not do my assignments because I don't want to submit them because it's going to be too final. So no, I'm not
Two
looking forward to
finals.
that at all.
See,
Oh Lord.
Jahari? Look at that.
Oh no,
Look at
we
that.
need we
Yeah.
need to
Let her
rewire your
speak.
brain. We need to hit submit quickly. The quicker you hit it, the freer you will be. Are you kidding me? That's
Look at
That's
that.
actually insane, and that's
like
coming from me. That
Priscilla.
actually is kind of some
Priscilla is
That
the
insane
is
thinking.
procrastinator, and she still would want to hit submit.
I just
Yeah,
can't.
like I literally, that's what drives my procrastination is the end date and the time.
I will say though, like, though it's a very different feeling than what I had, I do understand it. Like, having that feeling of completion and like, whoa, like, it's really like, what am I doing now? I totally
Mhm.
understand that feeling. Yeah. It's definitely it's just it's a new feeling, It's not, I mean, it can be scary, but it's exciting at the same time.
Okay, Nakayla, here's the big one. Here's the big one. You are at this stage of your life where, you are now officially a graduate of your home institution. I almost accidentally said the name of our college. You are now a graduate, a freshly baked graduate. By this time, you have taken your gown off. You're at home relaxing. What advice do you feel like you have for them, or based on your experiences, what advice do you have?
Um, I would. I've been telling everybody like cherish every moment. Because it's really a fun time. Don't have your head in the books. You can do that paper later. Um, take pictures. I take a lot of pictures because I like to remember everything. And when it comes to like school or class, go to office hours. Never struggle on your own. Somebody else is struggling too. Yeah.
That's actually a very beautiful, kind of don't struggle in your own. Because I think, in a way, we created this podcast as a form of community because we were all dealing with these new feelings that we had about being recent grads. And we thought it would be helpful to, for us to all have community to laugh and cry and, sometimes get a little emotional. You see how emotional I'm getting since it's the season finale. You know, just, talk about forming community. I think that's what's beautiful. I think that's why I love your response, Michaela.
I think it also kind of comes full circle to something that we said in one of our first or second episodes, where it's like, definitely like cherish the moments that you have, like your final 2-3 weeks of college. Like, yeah, I mean, I totally get like you can put off that paper, but also get that paper in so you can actually walk across the stage. You know what I mean? like,
I
like,
know.
yeah. But yeah, pictures, videos, that's something that you can always look back on and laugh and realize, like, you know, through all of the struggles that you went through, there was also like great moments that, you know,
Yeah.
will bring you
And I
joy for the
don't mean
rest
to
of your life.
elongate this
So
because we really could have ended after
Mhm.
you said that. But I also feel like you dropped the gem earlier unintentionally when you said that you wouldn't put it on the spaces, you would put it on yourself when you were talking about going out to build community. And I think that matters
Mhm.
after college too. It is not just the college thing of getting over the fear of going to the club meeting, going to the, this gathering, that gathering, whatever, right? It also matters post grad when as some of us, have found out, right? When you go to a new city, when you go to a new place, and you have to build community because you have nobody, you're starting from scratch. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
don't struggle alone goes. Is that what you said? I want to quote you right. Okay, don't struggle alone
Yeah.
also counts when you
Yeah.
are entering the workforce, when you are finding your place, your footing in the new city, the new town, the new job, the new career, the new era. Um, there are other people doing the same thing. There are other people who have been there. Seek them out, build the relationship, find the community, sustain the community. Okay, I'm done.
I can't think of no better way to close with that motivating um, send off by Jahari. I'll, it's been great. I'll give everybody a couple, a few seconds to say, hopefully this podcast has been awesome for you. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you've been able to laugh with us. But it's been an amazing time, y'all. Thanks for joining us along this wonderful journey of the past couple months to hear about our experiences, and hopefully we're able to
Yes,
leave some gems and nuggets for you. I pass it off to Brittany, who usually does a wonderful job. Send
no,
off.
I mean, in the words of Nakayla, I don't want to hit the final submit button, like hitting the record button again, kind of stopping it the end of season 1. But we will be back soon. We just need to take a pause, do some revamping and stuff like that. But we will be back with bigger and better things, just after we experience life a little bit more, as Jahari would say. But yeah, like, super appreciative of all our listeners, and thank you again, Nakayla, for joining us on this episode. And we wish
yes,
you well after graduating, and keep us updated on like all the
Yes.
things that you're
Mhm.
deciding to do.
yes.
Of
Yeah.
course.
It's the PB and
Wow.
J crew signing off, y'all.
Season 2.
Yeah. Peace out.
Bye. Bye. Good,
Bye.
good luck on life.